Let's see what we got here. I am getting some sound. I don't know if it's the right sound or not. So y'all tune back in. Let's see who we get here. No idea what's going on, you guys. No idea at all right now. Yes is clearly one of those. Hey, Sean, can you hear a brother? You hear the Scott. That is great. Okay. Does it sound normal to you? What the fuck? Now the lights are off. And now they're so bright, I might die. Kyle. Brian Leach. Hello, everybody. Sean, quieter than usual. Fuck a duck. Or bring it up. Hi, Pam. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We lost probably the biggest audience I've had to start with yet, which is awesome. I love that. I love that when that happens. Hopefully people will come back, but we'll see. We'll see, you know. So right now, yeah, Brian, I broke it again. Sound is good on YouTube. Flight of the Bicycles. Hello. How you doing? Here's me now. Edward Rocco. Steve says sounds normal. Wonderful. So this time there's a channel called Mic/Aux, which is coming through loud and clear, but the Apollo channel is not. And it's usually the other way around. I could not begin to explain what the F is going down, but Apollo, apparently we're coming through. Sounds good in Alaska. Tim Clark, how you doing? Dr. Campbell sounds good. Wonderful. All right. Well, we'll see how many people we get back after that, strange start. Looks like Twitch is a little slow coming back. We got Sean, of course, constant listener, friend of the show, all that other shit. Now I can't get the fucking script to come up. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, really strange shit going down, you guys. All right, so the timer is not working, so we're going to go live in just a couple of minutes. If you're watching this after the fact, we've had technical issues. You can't go to 00 because it doesn't work. Steve Bloomfield, how you doing? Cobalt making sausage. That is correct. Let's get a preview window up for the other screen. That would be a new window. Very strange shit going on. I think it's got something to do with we tried to hook up a third monitor actually, and that third monitor must have pooched something. A Sigler hears me. That is great. And, you know, gonna have to go back. The one time it's worked fine for 4 weeks, so I didn't do the test that I usually do in the afternoon, but such is life. Can't win them all. There we go, a little brighter. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, everybody. Great. YouTube pouring back in. That's the most important thing. Get the YouTubers out there. Rivis Mele. Okay, sounds. The sound is back. Awesome. Rivis, am I pronouncing that right? Rivas Mele? Rivis Mele? I don't know. Stephen Bloomfield says, hey, I've been wanting to tell you that after a re-listen to the last few episodes, I realized the descriptions of Billy fighting are amazing. Thank you very much. What I'm going for in my descriptions, although this is crazy over the top bullshit, there's magic. There's magical weapons. There's monsters. There's bouncy little peony type things that just spoo googe on people. Googe is a new word, by the way. Write that down. What we're really going for is realistic fight scenes. You know, I don't want Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This fight scene takes 17 minutes. When incredibly trained people have swords. Real fights are over almost immediately. Real sword fights are over almost immediately. And this is much more the sleigh action scenes. Rob and I are big believers in, you know, the old movies like Lethal Weapon, where Mel Gibson's character goes through 4 guys in a heartbeat. Even Steven Seagal, things like that, where there are lethal weapons involved, bullets, shotgun slugs, shots, swords, knives, etc. This isn't going to be a big parry, thrust, parry, quarter, parry, staff, parry. It's just going to be over very, very quickly until you get, of course, to the head-to-head with the big bad of the year, the big bad of the seasons, and Lincoln. those are going to wind up being a little bit more involved, magical to draw out the drama. But when they are facing 100 cultists and roughly 50, jiggly peens, actually at DragonCon, somebody said, it's the actual question I got asked. Hold on, let's see if I can get this like third up plus timer. Give me one sec here. I'm starting to figure out how to manage the two different shows at one time. It's very, very complicated. It's complicated. Let's go to main. Nope, that does not work. Give me 1 second, you guys. Timer plus 2 actions. Not going to work. Excellent. All right, so fuck it. It's one of those goddamn days. Somebody at DragonCon who hadn't heard Slay yet wanted an explanation of what was going on. I told her about the polyps, and her... This is a PhD, ladies and gentlemen. Her first question was like, wait a minute. Are they snipped or unsnipped? And I'm like, I hadn't thought about that at all. Let's go with unsnipped. And then she did this. She goes, so they're like this. I was like, yes, that is exactly what they're like, ma'am, who has not heard the story yet, but gets to the heart of it. Gets to the heart of it. All right. Look, glad to hear that, Rasmele. Love it. I do not speak Spanish at all. Well, a little bit, like un pico, like very, very tiny amount, just pop culture shit. That is all. Yes, Dr. Campbell, the jiggly peens of Slay. Since freedom of the press is now completely dead in America, I am drinking a Scott. Yes, Daniela Lee, science rock star and communicator, studies rats, if I remember this correctly. Okay, that was a glorious moment. We do actually have a video of that moment. We'll try and bring that back next week. I was laughing so hard, I might have peed myself a little bit in public. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. And they snipped or unsnipped. I'm like, okay. All right. So technical issues appear to be covered. We got a great YouTube crowd in. Twitch is starting to come in on my Facebook peeps as... What the hell is that, eh? A just put in the biggest damn... I don't know. Babe, what is that? AK, could you tell me if you posted that giant link in there or not? This is Daniel. Baby girl, next time, do the search, click on the link you want, go to that page, copy that link, and paste it in. Yes. So, all right, we'll bring you that video next week, but now it's time to get down to the business because this is a hell of an episode. All right, let's go. Okay, let me get the script up since I goofed up everything. Perfect. That looks good. Gotta turn off these fans that make noise. Yes, a little bit slow on the uptake today. Oh, before we get into it real quick, I gotta do the prequel shit as usual. Of course, you're on YouTube. Slap like, ring the bell. Make sure you are subscribed. A lot of new people on YouTube. I can see them. Subscribe, bitches. Make sure you are commenting on the regular. Tonight's live read is Slay, episode 113, Wyrmmother. On tonight's Deep Cuts, we're not talking about Alien Earth. We're going to put that off till next week because A and I didn't get through everything. So we are going to be talking about the fall movies that we are super hyped for. Can't wait for those. Of course, we got to talk about... Go to main. If you got ideas for a show or anything you want to know from us, a question, send to info@mgset.com. Sign up for our SMS list. Text SIGTEXT 855-955-5095. No, text SIGTEXT to that. You know what I'm talking about. Stop with the pedantics. You will get a 10% off coupon at scottsluger.com/store. And you should be signed up for our newsletter. Today, someone asked me on Reddit, hey, when is Crypt 2 coming out? I'm like, are you subscribed to the newsletter? Because you will know before almost anyone else. I got a little Ming the Merciless look going on tonight. This lighting, I really like it. I just need a big old red velvet, crushed velvet jacket with a big old collar coming up. Look all good and shit. And what else do we have going on here? Of course, our advertisers, GoDaddy.com. GoDaddy code CJCFOSSIG3, 99% off the first year of a 3-year new.com. If you want some clothes, want to look good and shit, go to quince.com/Sigler. Nice clothes, low prices. I have to admit, I'm not a clothes guy, but I've got several things from there. And if you've got a small business, for fuck's sake, go get yourself a Stamps.com account. Go to Stamps.com, sign up, use the code Sigler, save a bunch. It's an insane deal, and I've been using it for 20 years. That's a long time. Yes. Actually, Steve Bloomfield, I did price out one time. I wanted to go cosplay as Ming the Merciless for like a Dragon Con and make that my persona for band stuff. It was very expensive to make that particular outfit. Beyond my budget, I assure you. All right, fuck it. Let's get down to business, bitches. Here we go. Let me get the logic up. Yeah, David Lamb, the red velvet is just, actually I think his is red satin with black velvet collars. There is nothing more fucking pimp than Flash Gordon's Ming the Merciless from the 80s. Fantastic. Except for, of course, Shonuff, the Shogun of Harlem. That is just the greatest villain of all time. I love him. I want to write a book about him. I do. I want to write that book. All right, recording. Hold on. Thanks for bearing with me, you guys. It's been a rough day, and I am now about to get into it and try to entertain you bitch asses. That's one word, bitch asses. Spell that. Spell that in the chat room. Okay, here we go. Script up. Let's get into it. Yes, Steve Bloomfield, Ming's daughter. Very attractive human being. Chris Grohl, who's got the best kung fu? Shonuff. All right. You guys have cheered me up. Let's get into it. Here we go. Motherfucker, the Schwarmy sound's not working. This is one of them days, you guys. I gotta get this shit fixed. No, that is working. Here we go. Ready? Well, whether it's going or not, we are now recording. Let's get into it. Previously on Slay, the Caper Gang is taking big hits. Faceless, Cray-Cray Bray, and Mercutio are down for the count, victims of some unwanted reproductive attentions from the polyps. Billy got a faceful as well, but managed to get control of the insidious insemination before turning that power around and blasting the living bejesus out of cultists and polyps alike. Billy, Linc, Magda, and Dante now face the ultimate threat. The Wyrmmother is on her way. Can the gang survive against the 60-foot-long mystical creature conjured from solid stone? Find out next on Slay, episode 113. Looks like Schwarmy's out, so you're going to have to do it yourselves. And we'll fix it later. We'll fix it for the podcast. Let's get into it. Mummy! Mummy! Protect us from this clap-ridden Rixador who couldn't count past 2 without removing his boots! Come quick! Come quick! Through 6 vertical visor slots, Magda stared up at the cavern ceiling. Her head hurt. She felt like she was going to throw up. Everything itched. It was getting hard to breathe, even though she wasn't really there, and the she that was there didn't need to breathe at all. Magda needed a goddamn drink. The real Magda, not this walking iron tank. She heard the alarm mushrooms screaming, and a sound like a huge stone grinder crushing a dozen granite boulders at once, and yet she couldn't get off her back. Her armor's back, not her back. This shit was getting hard to keep track of. Someone give me a fucking hand, will ya? She had drilled on making the suit get up from its back, but that was before filling the hollow armor with 1,000 pounds of gold coin. It had all been in her hollow legs and midriff until she had been sent tumbling. Some of the rolls had broken, as far as she could tell, and when she tried to move, the gold sloshed around inside her armor like saved nickels in a plastic gallon jug. Lincoln leaned into her view from the right, his haze of Cimarel wavering and flowing. He didn't seem hurt. Just seeing him alive steadied her. They had been through worse scrapes than this, and together they would get out of it. She's covered in polyp jizz, he said. If we touch her, we could get paralyzed. Find like a dry spot. We gotta get this freight train on its feet. The stuff had gotten into the armor's joints, and some had leaked into the suit proper, probably smearing all over the coins. So gross. From Magda's left, Billy leaned in, his eyes flicking 100 different ways, from her to the alarm mushrooms, to the cavern's edges, and back to her again. He looked horrible. Half-lidded eyes, lips dry and cracked, a tiny bit of snot dangling from one nostril. I think it's okay. He sounded like he had just run a marathon, during which a mule with anger control issues had kicked him in the head at every other mile marker. The filament isn't moving anymore. It's denatured. How was he even on his feet? He had taken a full shot of that supernatural splooge. Billy could see filament, literally see it, with the naked eye, without any meshwork optical support. Lincoln grabbed her right arm, Billy her left. They both put a foot on her sabotons to stop them from sliding. On 3, Linc said. 1, 2, 3. They pulled her to a sitting position. Coins rattled downward. With their help, she stood, the noise like a 55-gallon rain stick as gold settled back into her legs and midsection. Magda saw the casualties. Dante, still conscious, sitting on his ass, green hand clutched to a bloody shoulder, tracksuit thigh soaked in blood. Mercutio, Faceless, and Cray-Cray, all on the ground, all making the small, uncontrollable twitches of people in mind-bending agony. Linc's shotgun, bent and broken, on the ground next to Dante. Walt, she said, as she looked at her own Vambrace shotgun. How long until Merc and the others get up? Is this denaturing for them too? Her barrel had 2 dents in it, from those assholes hacking away at her, or maybe from the Buffalo Woman, or maybe from the Buffalo Woman's impact Magda didn't know. Her shotgun was useless. She'd only had a couple of rounds left anyway, and doubted they would have any effect at all on the Wyrmmother. It doesn't denature when it's inside somebody, Billy said. Not for a while anyway. Let me explain. They ain't getting up anytime soon. The demonic discharge had gotten inside Billy, yet he was standing. How had he accomplished that? A question for another time. The grinding sound grew louder, reverberating through the cavern. Wyrmmother had to be at the mushroom-thick entrance. Cultists who had been hiding, as far as Magda could tell, were now running in all directions, their panic damn near contagious. That did not bode well. Mummy! Save us from the cum-guzzling pretender in the white armor! He takes more cream pies to the face than a rodeo clown at a red state county fair! He likes the pain, so give it to him like the bitch boy that he is! Billy huffed. Man, that's kind of harsh. I hate those guys, Linc said. Like, I really hate those guys. A cultist ran from the tunnel to the transit chamber, her arms waving in uncontrollable fear. She tripped on a body and fell hard to her hands and knees. With an earthly tone, like granite jaws chewing through a mountain, the Wyrmmother slid pincers first from the cavern entrance in which she barely fit. the path's paving stones breaking and rising up before her like a speedboat's wake. Those pincers were 10-ton pointy boulders, stone scissors that could crush even better than they could cut. Stubby arms, the same rough gunmetal gray. An insectile head, blocky and hard. A dozen gleaming obsidian discs for eyes. A mouth made from 4 shuddering rock pedipalps, big enough to pull a human body in whole. And that body was snake-like, the living stone bulging outward as it escaped the tunnel's tight confines. It had no legs. The beast moved like a cartoon inchworm, curves avoiding the wide-capped alarm mushrooms. The last thing out was its tail, a bulbous, pitted rock the size of a wrecking ball with a hooked, jagged point. The fallen cultist scrambled to her feet, but she was too slow. A pincer shot forward with the speed of a boxer's jab and snipped her in half at the waist. Blazing hells, Linc said. Just look at that magnificent motherfucker. How did Callista amass enough power and fortune to have that defending her vault? Linc sounded half astounded at the threat they now faced, but there was another tone to his voice. A wistful one Magda remembered from their good old days. Linc loved squaring off against a deadly creature. The bigger, the badder, the better. Magda reached back and drew ding-dong big schlong. A stringy trail of blue goop dribbled from the barrel. How is it? Linc asked. Will it fire? Magda wiped a gob of fading teal paste from the weapon and flicked it to the ground. The barrel looked fine. She pulled the magazine, saw no goop atop the 50 cal meshwork rounds. As she slid the magazine back into place, she saw Wyrmmother slither to another screaming cultist. This one died when the stone tail whipped forward and the wicked point punched through his chest. That seems bad, Billy said. I mean, it's fast. Too fast for them to slip into the tunnel and make a break for the transit dais. Wyrmmother would easily catch them and turn them into paste. Magda pulled the charging handle back and released it. The action felt fine. I think it's good to go, she said. Linc, you are not thinking of going head-to-head with that behemoth, are you? He shook his head. Of course not. Don't be stupid. Put that beastie down for me, will you? He couldn't lie for shit. But Magda shouldered ding-dong big schlong, sighted in, and pulled the trigger. The weapon fired. 100 yards away, a spot on Wyrmmother's back flared with an indigo explosion and a shower of stone chips. That meshwork round would have turned an elephant into a bubbling puddle of soup, yet against Wyrmmother, it took out a chunk no bigger than a beer keg. The beast's undulating body turned, faced Magda and the others. Uh-oh, Billy said. That seems worse. Is she angry? She looks angry. Wyrmmother's S-shaped body undulated, and the 60-foot-long creature streaked forward. Get me out of here, Dante said. Put me in armor like you did with Mercutio, and get me out of here, now. I will fit the top gold. When we are safe, I will make it worth your while. Magda ignored him, as did Linc and Billy. Walt, Linc said, you got any of that jizz magic left? If not, now's a damn good time to bust out your internal oops moment, if you know what I'm saying. Wyrmmother plowed through an anemone bush, shattering the rigid structure and sending cotton candy pink tendrils flying. I'm too weak, Linc, Billy said, his thin voice echoing his statement. Can't drop my own power at all. I got a little bit of the polyp filament left, but not enough to do any damage to that beast. The poor kid swayed slightly, barely able to stand on his own. He looked half dead. As Wyrmmother closed to 50 yards, Magda, Linc, and Billy all looked down at their unconscious associates. That was a lot of bodies to get to safety and not nearly enough time to move them. Linc reached down, grabbed Dante by his tracksuit jacket, and lifted him, looked eye to eye with the goblin. Or eye to haze of Cimmeral, anyway. You give me your word that you will finish the job and get my son off the shelf, Linc said. No conniving, no lies, no bullshit. Give me your word as a man that you will fulfill the promise that you made me. There was a coldness to his words, a lethal efficiency, all the more imposing because of the massive stone snake scorpion thing snow-plowing their way. Duh, Dante said. You have my word. God damn it. Was Linc gonna go solo? One more time, Linc said, pulling the goblin nose to nose. With feeling. Make me believe you. Dante gulped. The points of his ears twitched. Duh. No matter what happened to you, I will get your son off shelf, he said. I swear it on my life, and you know how much I value that. Linc set him down. He was gonna go solo. Again. Don't you fucking dare, Magda said, even though they only had seconds left and she had no other ideas. We do this together. Your goddamn leg isn't even healed right yet. Linc lifted his bad leg, stomped down 3 times hard. Good enough for government work. He reached into his cloak and drew both Bastard Maker and his longsword to Zona. My leg is fine. I'll draw the big bitch away from the transit chamber. You get Walt, Dante, and the others out of here. If Dante doesn't make it out, Sam's fucked. Do what I ask. I'm calling in a marker. This fucking asshole. A marker? Their code for, you will do this because I asked you, and that's all the reason you need. Magda didn't have any choice. If this dumb shit wanted to die here, she had to honor his wishes. Fine, Magda said. I'll do it. I never liked your stupid ass anyway. Linc grinned at her, the haze of Cimmeral curling and wavering as if it, too, was excited for a brawl. That's okay, Linc said. I don't like me either. With that, he ran straight at the beast. Looked like his leg was healed enough to do that, anyways. We can't let him do this on his own, Billy said. We gotta fight with him, right? In his current state, Billy couldn't fight off a mosquito, let alone that nightmare. And Magda was handcuffed by Linc's stupid code of honor. Magda slid ding-dong big schlong into her back holster. Shut up and help Dante, she said. I'll get the others. Get ready to move and move fast. As her thick iron arms scooped up Cray-Cray, Faceless, and Mercutio, she saw Lincoln Franks, the man in gray, leap into the air straight toward the Wyrmmother's roaring mouth. I feel like we gotta have a Schwarmy sound. That's the end of that chapter. I gotta fix this shit. Hold on one sec. Talk amongst yourself about how badass that fucking shit was, because it's about to get more badass, motherfuckers. It's gonna get way better. Hold on. Schwarmy sound. I can't find it. There it is. Let me fix this. Let me fix it. Let me hope it fixes. Still not playing. God damn it. It's one of those days. All right, here we go. Let's get back into it. Show me sound. Wow, 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 wow. The man in gray was insane. Dante heard him shout, "Sursum," the word echoing through the cavern, then launched high in a cloak-trailing magical leap that sent him arcing toward the hideous Wyrmmother. The stone beast spread her pincers like a crab sending a warning, then swept up with one, set on slicing Franks apart in midair. He must have expected it, for he slashed down with his longsword atop the pincer, used the impact's force to flip himself higher. The pincer clacked on empty air as Frank somersaulted over it, coming down with his hatchet in a powerful strike atop the monster's head. The wicked blade chipped off a chunk of stone. Wyrmmother roared and reared her head up, flinging Franks away in a manner far less coordinated than he had come in. The man sailed through the air, out of control. He shouted another archaic word, "Descendat," and his out-of-control fall turned into a gentle descent. "Damn," Walter said. "He is such a bad motherfucker." Walter. That wasn't his real name. Earlier, the man in gray had slipped up and called him Billy. And with that word, the young man's hesitancy, his quietness and caution around Dante, it all made sense. Billy Middleton. Joe's friend. It had to be. He looked so different. But when Dante first faced the man in gray, it had been Billy who had called him in. The two were connected even then. And when Vastinian, via Dante, put the contract on Billy's head, Franks had protected Billy against multiple bounty hunters. After the fight at Callista's club, Billy and his grandmother had abandoned their apartment in Lumencia. Excuse me. Butch and his Rollin' Outlaws gang vanished as well. Had Franks killed them while protecting Billy? Had Franks or the woman controlling the suit, or Ariella Goldsmith, their lawyer, somehow transformed the scrawny kid into the killing machine who stood here now? Billy Middleton, who had betrayed Dante. Billy Middleton, who Vastinian wanted dead. Walter would do for now, though. At least until they got out of this place and Dante could figure out what, if anything, to do with this information. Dante took the hand Walter offered. Walter almost fell over, helping Dante up. Getting shot sucked. It was better than getting blasted with polyp concha, though, which Walter had been, yet here he was, on his own 2 feet. Barely, true, but compared to the others, this kid was cut from a different cloth. With that, with the way he fought, and with an ally in Linc and Franks, Dante would be most careful about exploiting this new bit of information. Franks landed and sprinted for the tunnel to the transit chamber. Pincers snapping in fury, Wyrmmother slithered after him. "Wait for our moment," the armor said. "Be ready. When we move, we need to move fast." In its sewer pipe thick arms, it held Cray-Cray Bray, Mercutio, and Faceless, all twitching in pain. They looked so small, even though each of them was taller and heavier than Dante. The man in gray ran past the alarm mushrooms, slicing the stem of the red one as he did. The cap wobbled, cried out, and tumbled to the ground, landing in a puff of spores like some soft, dusty sponge. The rest of the mushrooms screamed and wobbled in loss and terror, but Franks was already through the arched exit. "We can't leave him on his own," Walter said. "Mags, we can't." The Wyrmmother, huge and terrifying, slithered carefully around the man-sized mushrooms so as not to damage them, then crammed its bulk into the tunnel. "You look like you'll pass out at any moment," the armor said. "We do what he asked, Walt. We do what he asked, Walt. That's the way this works. You and Dante stay behind me. Let's go." I have to make the Schwarmy sound out loud, so any of you with beverages, take a drink. I didn't make the rules. A made the rules. Sorry. "Come get some, you big dumb fuck." Lincoln sprinted past the transit dais on his right. It looked different without Wyrmmother's cylindrical stone bulk wrapped around it. It looked different without Wyrmmother's cylindrical stone bulk wrapped around and around it. There were a handful of cultists still here, laid out on boulders or slumped against the stone walls, so stoned out of their gourds on pus that they hadn't been able to heed the call to fight. Lincoln heard Wyrmmother going through the opening behind him, stone body scraping against the stone arch. Seriously, though, how had Callista managed all this? Had Wyrmmother and the traps been here for centuries, a leftover from the cavern's creators, or had the Fire Witch used the plentiful amoeba magic to create all of it? If the latter was true, would she accept the blackmail, or would she use that power to fight back? Could battered Billy and Magda, who was on the edge of flipping out from her agoraphobia, Linc could tell, handle her if she did? All the more reason Lincoln had to make it out alive. Wyrmmother's gravel-crushing roar shook the transit chamber. Lincoln rushed into the tunnel that led to the gravity chamber. A longer tunnel, this one with the glowing blue walls. Just the right size to keep her from moving around. She would fit, barely, which was exactly what he wanted. She wouldn't be able to use that tail in the tunnel, only her pincers. Deadly as hell still, but if he played his cards right, she would be a pile of rubble before she could use them. He was out of ammo of all kinds, save for one final round. He had to use it perfectly. He sprinted through the tunnel. His leg hurt, but it worked fine, and he found himself grateful Magda had been such a bitch about him using that stupid crutch. If he had rushed things and hurt his leg, this chase would already be over. When Wyrmmother forced herself into the tunnel entrance behind him, it sounded like a diamond saw cutting into a landslide, her stone body grinding against the stone walls. She came in so hard, a wave of pressure buffeted Lincoln from behind, almost enough to make him stumble. The bitch was big. Big and fast. Faster than him by far, even when jamming her mass into a space barely large enough for her to fit. Her body shape made sense now, the long form ideally suited to move through the tunnels. Maybe she'd been smaller way back when. Maybe she had been here for centuries, gradually getting bigger and bigger. Up ahead, he saw the exit to the gravity chamber. Now. Lincoln slowed, sliding Bastard Maker and Tizona into his cloak, drawing his limbless crossbow from its mystical folds. He cranked the string back to the latch, cocking it. As he knocked his last bolt, his last bit of Magda's special meshwork, he stopped and turned. Wyrmmother, 30 yards away and closing. Clacking pincers extended before her, her bulk pushing through the blue-tinged tunnel like a push-pop sliding up a cardboard tube. A push-pop with 4 stone pedipalps quivering and reaching, hungry to pull him in, to gobble up the parts left by the huge, deadly pincers. It would be a tough shot, but he'd hit tougher. "Let's see you top this one, Dad." Lincoln pulled the crossbow to his shoulder. Ignis. The knocked bolt glowed electric green. 20 yards and closing. Wyrmmother's enraged cry tore at his ears. Her obsidian eyes vibrated and pulsed. "Yes," Lincoln said. "Let the hate flow through you. Was that fuckface mushroom a pal of yours? Come closer, bitch." 15 yards. Closer? At 10 yards, the pincers almost reached him. Linc sighted in on the negative space at the center of the spasming pedipalps. One bolt to rule them all. Hold on, I screwed something up. He pulled the trigger. The glowing green bolt flew straight and true, sliding past the pedipalps to vanish in the beast's hidden mouth. Wyrmmother stopped cold. Her dozens of obsidian eyes all seemed to widen at the same time. Lincoln grinned. "Smile, you son of a..." The bolt detonated. Green fire shattered obsidian eyes and jetted from Wyrmmother's mouth. Lincoln saw pedipalps rip free as he grabbed his void cloak and spun, putting his back to the emerald green napalm that washed over him, hammering him down the tunnel. He hit the path's stone tiles and tumbled along in a flurry of limbs and rattling armor, the concentrated blast cooking his face, his crossbow flying free of his grip. He spun once, twice, and on the third spin, he heard and felt his weakened femur snap. Lincoln slid and came to a stop, half on and half off the path's stone tiles. His leg throbbed like a lightning bolt was bouncing around inside of it. Same spot as before. Same exact fucking spot. Blazing hells. Did Magda always have to be right? Groaning, he pushed himself up. The blast had launched him into the gravity chamber's entrance. Another 10 or 15 feet, and the trap spell would have yanked him up into the stalactites. He saw his crossbow, 20 feet out, sitting on the cavern floor. It confused Lincoln for a moment until he remembered Faceless had turned the trap off for the party to cross and hadn't turned it back on when they left. "I never liked you either," Lincoln said. Then he pulled Magda's favorite crutch from his cloak. He got to his feet, or rather his foot, the crutch's rest under his armpit. His leg wasn't his only wound. His cheeks, nose, lips, and chin burned. All in all, though, it was a small price to pay. He looked back to the Wyrmmother's corpse. Green smoke curled out of her shattered, fire-blackened stone mouth and wafted up from the holes where half of her eyes had been blown out of her head. The heavy pincers lie still and lifeless. "Huh," Linc said. "How am I going to get through that big pile of cooked shit?" He shrugged. Sometimes he didn't think things all the way through, but he wasn't about to complain. He took a tentative step onto the gravity chamber floor, but stopped. Was the spell really off? He hesitated. He looked around, spotted a severed, still smoking pedipalp. He crutch walked to it, awkwardly bent to pick it up, then tossed it out into the gravity chamber's floor. When it landed, it broke into 3 pieces. All 3 pieces of stone skidded across the ground, but did not shoot up into the bone-speckled stalactites 100 feet above. The gravity spell was definitely off. Hopefully, the next time Lincoln saw his father, the old man would be with it enough to understand what Lincoln had just done. But knowing Jacoby, if he was with it, he'd make up some bullshit from his glory days. He'd make up some bullshit from his glory days to top what had to be one of the greatest monster kills of all time. Lincoln ignored his pain. He hobbled out to grab his crossbow. They had done it. Dante had the Dormantus, and by now, Magda and Billy would be taking him to the transit dais. They'd all get patched up at the clearinghouse. As soon as Lincoln figured out how to clear the tunnel of a many-ton hunk of stone turd clogging this proverbial pipe, he would catch up with them, see what Magda or Peanut could do about his thigh, and then they would all head to Callista's club for a nice little chat. Oh, how pissed off that woman would be. He reached down for his crossbow and froze when he heard a small sound of stone grinding against stone. His stomach dropped. Hand hovering over the crossbow, knowing what he would see but not wanting to believe it, he glanced back into the tunnel. There, the Wyrmmother lay still for a moment more. Then she twitched. Then she shuddered. The granite behemoth lurched to life. She let out a hollow roar, that of a 1,000-seat chorus of blown-out wind instruments capable of making only a gargantuan, breathy, broken cacophony of pure hate. Pincers rose up and slammed down against the shattered path tiles. Well, fuck, Lincoln said. He stashed the crossbow in his cloak. He had to keep one hand on the crutch. He drew Bastard Maker. Green smoke still rising from missing eyes and wisping out from the ruined mouth like the breath of a mountain-sized meth head, the Wyrmmother pushed down the tunnel toward him. That's my Schwarmy sound. As usual, Schwarmy sound. Motherfuckers got to drink. Drink it. Drink it. Hey, Michael Moore. No, we have 2 chairs. Sometimes I forget and switch them up, but this is the same chair. Allow Rob to repeat. Shit. That was fun as fuck. All right. Technical issues aside, you know how it is. My lovely wife, who is going through a bit of a migraine cycle right now, she's going to come up, hang out. She may tap out at any moment, but that is the way this shit goes. All right, getting deep cuts up right now. Boop, 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 boop. That's me turning on a solo and record. Testing, testing, testing. Uh-oh. I can hear A yelling at the pups. I don't know what's going on downtown, but it's not good. It's not good at all. Oops. Shit. There we go. Thank goodness. I thought I had quit out of the very program that was causing all this problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get into it. We're going to go through the housekeeping, and then we're going to stop this whole stream, switch over to deep cuts, and do the next stream. Hello, Pumpkin. There you go. Now you're on this one right here. Make sure you're... Oh my God, I just figured it out. I had my... On this console, I had my fucking mic muted. That's why I wouldn't go...
No,
you did not try. You did not try.
No, I did. I asked you about QMix, but that's different.
Yes. Great. All right. Oh, hold on. I got you queued up here. Babe, for having all the hangovers, you look gorgeous. Not hangovers, migraine. We've been comparing it to because when I get hangovers, they're not good. And A's been trying to explain to me what it's like being her right now, and it is like having a hangover for 4 days.
Yeah, I've had actually I've only had one migraine this week, but I've had 4 days of impossible headaches. So much so that I had to come sit here in front of the lights to see if I could actually sit here during the cast. So we'll see. I might have to take off my headphones. I'm gonna try and stay really close to the microphone.
Keep talking.
There's a lot of echo apparently.
You getting echo?
They're getting echo.
Shit. Oh, I know what's going. Oh, got it. Hold on. How's the echo now, bitches?
How's the
echo now?
Echo.
I gotta stop fucking paying attention to the news, you guys. It throws a brother completely off kilter. And there we go. Now I can hear. There you go. Talk, baby.
I'm talking now. How is this?
Technology, bitches. Brought to you by science, by the scientific method, which is a thing we're not going to have much longer as we head into the dark ages. But the scientific method is a great, what is it? Great thing. Exactly. Well done, babe. Let's get, you want that? Yeah, I'll grab it for you right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. So A is enduring things. Is that too loud in your ears, Sweet Pea? I can bring it down if you want.
Yeah, that would be a little bit good.
Okay, a little bit good. Here we go. I got to go to Q. Hold on.
Martin, I believe I made it echo.
Nope, that was entirely me, babe.
When, whoa, now I can't hear anything.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
I can't hear anything. Yes, I can. That's way better.
Is that better for you?
That's good. Yeah.
How about me? Is my volume okay in your ears? Great.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk a little quiet because the love of my life is struggling. You guys.
Donna, man, the migraine hangover the next day is so bad and not worse than the migraine. But for me, unfortunately, I am a woman of a certain age, so I am in menopause, and I had debilitating migraines in my 20s and 30s. And then I had a decade of loveliness. And now that I don't have those hormones anymore, now I have migraines again. It's so unfair. It's so unfair.
So
I get a migraine when I used to get a period. God damn it. I know people don't like to talk about it, but come on.
So you gentlemen watching the show right now, this apparently is a thing that we basically don't have to deal with. But when a woman around A's age or even far younger talks about migraines, you will find a lot of women nodding in sympathy because they have dealt with or are dealing with the same shit. It is definitely a biological difference between the sexes. But what I'm saying is this: if a woman that you know is talking about migraines or hot flashes or menopause or anything like that, shut your fucking whore mouths. Shut your whore mouths and just give them all the sympathy in the world because we don't have to deal with it. And it clearly sucks.
I will say that in my 20s and 30s, before the new class of migraine drugs, which are terrific, the triptans are very, very great. I would go to a migraine clinic because I would throw up if something was too loud or something was too bright or whatever. And there were men and women. Men and women both get migraines, but I'm just mad about.
Can you read Scott Aiken's comment, please?
Scott, 29, that's pretty early for menopause.
I'm going to go and tell him right now. Scott Aiken, you're the sweetest.
That's true.
That's the sweetest. All right.
Anyhow, anybody who suffers from migraines, my heart goes out to you. It stinks. It stinks.
You know what? You goddamn right. You did say try the Q mix.
I tried
it was
to tell you.
a little more. It was related to the Q mix, but a little more complicated than that.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go ahead and be a man and say, like, woman, you don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Woman, you don't know what you're talking about. Woman.
As long as you say it quietly, I'm good with that. Today.
All right, let's get into housekeeping. Here we go. Housekeeping. Sunday, September 14th, Slay episode 112, Surrounded, which is way more jizz than this episode. But this episode had a lot of jizz, let's be honest. That hit the feed. Wednesday, September 17th, that was today, right? Yes. Deep Cuts episode 67, NFL football in the new season went live in the feed. We would like to have gotten that to you earlier, but things got crazy around here. Tonight's Deep Cuts is a dive into what we're excited about for movies for the fall. We're again, in a moment, we're going to stop this feed, restart the feed, and come back. Sunday, September 21st, tonight's episode, Slay episode 113, Wyrmmother, goes live in the feed. Saturday, October 4th, is a junkie meetup. Oh my gosh, I think I have that graphic. Please tell me it works. Yeah. Oh, sorry, too loud. Saturday, October 4th. Steve the Iceberg Rickyberg will host his normal, incredibly long 7-hour junkie meetup. You should pop in for a minute. I won't be there. Sometimes A's there, but not all the time. But Steve the Iceberg Rickyberg, this is his logo.
But
That's
this,
his logo.
But this junkie party is also Scream Diego. Scream.
Oh, I forgot about that. Scream. No, just Scream Diego.
Scream Diego.
Instead of San Diego, it's Scream Diego because it's about horror.
Yeah. So
horror. I have a hard time saying the word horror.
At Scream Diego.
Like, why are you talking about processed Scots? No, horror. Horror. So I got to get that extra R in there. And of course, if there is a deep cuts topic that you would like to hear us talk about, we're all ears. You can email that to info@emptyset.com. That's going to about do it, Sweet Pickle.
All right.
All right, guys, it's time for us to go to deep cuts. This is the bonus episode of the feed. If you only came for the story and the socialness, you can go, but there will be a lot more socialness coming up. Oh, look at that. A lot more. There's a lot more socialness coming up right now.
Do we still have the these?
No, I don't. I think we turned those off.
That.
I think we turned those off.
Now it just looks crazy.
Okay, guys, we are literally going to shut this feed down, restart this feed, and come back at your faces with a bunch of polyp jizz. Supernatural money shot. I was pretty proud of the alliterative euphemisms for supernatural jizz I threw out in this episode. Not gonna lie, very happy with myself. I will be right